Hello, 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 Rabbit here, back with another Starcraft Broodwar remastered laddercast for you, and today we have a PvZ on Knockout 1.1. Our blue Protoss players spawning here in the bottom right position is Sky, a very, very highly ranked ladder player in the top 20 consistently on the global ladder. And he is playing against one of my personal favorite Zergs, who is Larva, spawning here in the top left. So yeah, we haven't done PvZ in our rotation for a little while, so looking forward to doing one here. This Knockout is a map that I'm slowly getting familiar with and enjoying casting more and more games on it. So yeah, man. Welcome. If you're stopping by the channel as a regular, please do make sure that you hit the like button, and if you haven't already, then subscribe. And if you're seeing me for the first time, I am an avid Brood War enthusiast. I am probably one of those people who realized quite early on that I could probably contribute more to the game as a caster than anything else, and so that's why I decided to do that. And it's something I do purely for fun. I am a very, very happy and successful business person. I literally just create Brood War content because it's fun. You know, it's a really cool game. It's a game that I played when I was a kid, and I suppose that's where my attachment to it comes from. So we've done a 12-12-12, which is a very, very nice build, particularly on cross spawn when your opponent has gone hatchery first. But it does put a bit of emphasis on you as Protoss to make the play, because the advantage from an economic point of view that Zerg's going to have here with this hatch opening will scale quite well as the game goes on. So yeah, man, what else is there to chat about? I guess always just want to give a shout out to the boys at seawall.gg for creating the world of ladder replays, which is why a nerd like me who does recreational casting has got access to such incredible players and games. So big thanks to them. Please do check them out. Please do give them a like or a follow wherever you can. They have a Patreon. I think it's very well worth supporting, because without them you wouldn't get what you're seeing on Artosis casts, you wouldn't get what you're seeing here, you wouldn't get what you're seeing on, say, NSC's channel. It is the backbone of YouTube's casting scene. I'm not saying that all games that are cast on YouTube are ladder. It's not, but it does fill a very big space to be able to bring regular content. There's a lot of great coverage of Pro League and KCM and other competitions as well, and I think that's fantastic, especially for those that are enthusiastic about the Brood War scene. And yeah, the Brood War space, in terms of the growth of the game, the coverage of the game, it's very, very healthy, and it's very, very good to see. So we've got a lair, fast 3 hatches. This is just probably going to be a 3 hatch Spire and transitioning into 6 hatch Hydra from Larva. And we should see the Stargate for our Protoss go down now. And now. And now. He was a bit late. His attention wasn't where it was supposed to be. He could afford that for quite a while. But anyway, Stargate is on the way. We're sending a zealot across the map. This is really a sign of a really, really strong player. He doesn't have more than a single hit, and that shield is already regenerated on his scouting probe. Tells me he knows what he's doing. He's got 300 APM, not as quick as Larva. Larva's just mechanically incredibly gifted. But he's keeping that scout alive. He's going to get in and see the lair. He's going to see no Hydra Den. He's going to know that in all likelihood is a Spire. He might even get in here and see the Spire being built. And there we go. He sees the Spire timing as well. So Protoss has seen absolutely everything that they need to see. He's going with a +1 ground weapons attack. He's going to send out his first Corsair. And I imagine this will transition into a relatively standard game. Second gas is online, so this is just telling me it's going to be a standard build from our Protoss. It's going to have to build up to some kind of timing attack, I would imagine. If he just leaves Larva to macro up, it's just going to get too strong. So yeah, this is the third game we have done with the new settings on the microphone and the filters. I'm actually pretty confident now that it's sounding as good as I'd hoped it will. So if you have any feedback on that, please do let me know. But yeah, I think overall much happier with these settings that I've got from ChatGPT, funny enough. So we're going to do the 1-1 timing attack, I feel like. We're going to make a number of Corsairs, is our Protoss. Already got one on the map. It does pick off one Overlord. I think the Scourge are going to intercept here if he's not careful. Don't see any Scourge in the production tab yet though. He's getting Flyer Carapace. Making Hydras. Oh wow, okay, so it was actually a little bit of a swerve and diversion, not going Mutas, even though he's made the Spire, so don't know why he's then getting the Flyer Carapace, but we'll keep an eye on that. Perhaps he'll make Hydras and then do what so many Zergs are doing. He'll make Mutas to try and pick off High Templars in the mid game. Alright, so posturing forward with our Zealots to try and show a threat on the map. This will force either units to be made instead of drones, possibly a Sunken. Larva is one player who I follow as a Zerg who's not afraid to make static defense. However, I think our Protoss is going to be a little bit surprised because he scouted Lair and he scouted Spire. He's going to think it's very odd to see Hydras. He's making a DT, he's making a Templar, so his Templar tech tree is well and truly underway, making a second cannon just as a safety mechanism, I reckon. We do now have an engagement with these Hydras. He's definitely got the critical mass to fend this off here. I think Sky would do well to try and save some of his Zealots. Does run them around, and suddenly now he's going to need a whole bunch more cannons than what he initially thought he will. +1 air nearly finishing. Storm on the way. Does not have an Overlord with this, so this DT is going to shut this down pretty quick smart. Oh, there's a lot of Hydras though. Oh no. Ah, is this going to be a very quick end to this game? I don't really see how he gets out of this unless we've got a hero DT that does all the heavy lifting. Pulls the probes though and actually does an incredible job in defending that. That was really well done. Meanwhile, Corsairs do continue to harass, and we didn't bring all our Zealots home. Remember these three that we ran off to this side of the map? We brought them back to do a bit of harassment. And here we've got some Corsairs bugging our Overlords. And here we still have these 3 Zealots from before running around causing havoc. So, good lesson to the Protoss players watching here. Never send your Zealots home. Always keep them out on the map. They can be a real nuisance to Zerg, especially when Zerg is pushing forward with the pressure play. So up to 4 gateways. Really has kept his unit production. His macro has been really strong. He's got his 45 probes, which is all you need on 2 bases. Scourge chasing the Corsairs and don't get any hits, so that was nicely done as well. And yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit of a move out between Zealots and DT. Larva is now switching into Mutas, and I think that is good because his main threat are Zealots, and the last time I checked, Zealots do not shoot up. Ugh, this is not a nice engagement for the Zealots. A lot of them are just watching. This is a very poor engagement from Sky. I think he'll be disappointed that he didn't pull away earlier and try and fight out in the open. Gave away and sacked way too many Zealots there in my view. He's transitioning now into Dragoons, range, observers, expecting that Larva will be in a position to make Lurkers very soon. And just generally having some anti-air against Mutas that isn't just Corsairs is good. And it gives you an opportunity to try and protect your High Templars. Where the hell was that High Templar that chucked this storm? Ah, this is here. Okay. I do think that this is a beautiful SimCity. This guy's base layout is so compact and well done. It is a thing of beauty. Okay, so where are we in this game? Larva's got 1, 2, soon to be 4 bases. And our Protoss has got 2 bases, but I expect he is setting up to be able to move out and take a 3rd base of his own. So we will see exactly. Yeah, definitely getting rid of the gateway. I think he'd actually do well to kill this gateway and just build 2 more in his main base, and then he's just going to play off of 8 gateways. But we'll see what he decides to do. There's like little things like this cramped pathway for the Dragoons is just going to be a nightmare. So it does decide to move out before lurkers are a threat. Just kind of keeping his Hydras close. Swinging them around. This is the map that reminds me a bit more of Circuit Breakers. It's got a very similar feel to it, doesn't it? Okay. So now, as we so typically see in a PvZ at high level, the Protoss army is going to be running around the map, pressuring different bases of the Zerg while trying to expand behind this. The Zerg is going to be making mutas and lurkers to try and hold key positions on the map, as well as picking off High Templars to reduce the threat of this big ground-based army. And so the tango begins. Alright, so we do not have... I didn't hear a High Templar dying. We've got a single observer though. Decent storm. More lurkers coming in here from the top side. Corsairs are really pulling their weight actually. Having Corsairs with this army is really making the High Templar sniping tricky. Didn't have a lot of High Templars with this army. Didn't appear to need them. However, the supplies are so similar. A bit of a whiff on that storm. Supplies are so similar. You would think that Larva should have enough to tidy this up. Keep sending more and more units from the north downwards. But our Protoss has still got a very healthy contingent of Dragoons here. And, there we go. That's the death move, or the death noise of the dying observer. And that should be the end of this attack for the time being. So, rotates his army around to the middle of the map. Needs to obviously be making some more observers. Quick smart. He does have one in production. I see the cannons in the production tab, which tells me he has expanded behind this. Oh, this is a lot of Zerg. He's only got Dragoons and nothing else. I think this is a bit of an overextension. Larva's got so much macro. Protoss is going to have to pull away here and potentially have a bit of a rough time trying to defend this 3rd base. I think if Larva pushed this base now, not there, here. If you push this base now, Protoss would be in a heap of pain. Protoss is also looking at trying to take a 4th, because this is a mineral only, and this High Templars and, you know, spellcasters are obviously very gas expensive units. So this is a scary fight that's coming up here, for sure. I think he's sensing that this is where Protoss would want to expand to. And Larva's just going to shut this down. So, sensing that Larva's army is out of position, looks like our Protoss is going to go for a counter-attack. Oh, now they're going to converge here. We'll do the nice wide angle. So the Hydra's a little bit spread around. There's not too many storms. That was a decent one. I'm trying to get the split on the fight. A couple of Hydras have run away. Looks like he wants to come in here again. I don't see... Okay, so he's still got the 3 Templars, the 2 observers with the army. Might be useful for him to pick off these Hydras. So having been denied here, Looks like Sky is going to try and expand here, but Overlord's scouting this, it'll shut this down again as well. And while our Protoss is on 2 bases, well, excuse me, 3 bases, but 2 gases, I still feel like Zerg is in a very, very strong position. So it does shut the spot down. This just doesn't seem like a nice spot to try and engage if you're Protoss. Let's come in again. Where are the storms? There's one. Another sign of the dead observer. Another storm. Not terrible, not great. Needs more storm here though. That one's fine. But flanking from the backside as well on the retreat. Picking off a High Templar here, I reckon. Yep. Does so with no problems. It doesn't even need mutas to pick off High Templars. Doing alright with Hydras. I'm still just playing Hydras here is Larva. He does have the Hive, but he's not really utilizing much by way of Hive tech. We still see Lurkers in production. We see upgrades. Another engagement here. It feels like all the big engagements have been pretty much in this spot. That was a nice storm on the ramp, killing a few hatching eggs as well. So it's pretty much just Hydra Lurker from Larva fending off what is Goon Zealots with storm support. Decent dodging there. Has kept the observers alive. Most of his lurkers have been lost. But Larva just constantly seems to have the critical mass to hold this off. Some reinforcements do arrive, predominantly in the form of a couple of zealots. So it does lose an observer, but sends in another one. Reinforcing Hydras there have come through, and this is turning into a really fun game. Lots of fights, unrelenting stuff. Archons against a group of Hydras got picked off in an absolute flash. Very lonely High Templar over here. Not throwing down any more storms. Supplies are basically even. So as hard as Protoss has tried to pick through here and expand. So the 4th base is up, but there is no gas being taken as of yet, and we can see there's a little bit of a floating of minerals now from our Protoss. He needs to spend his money, he needs to get the 2nd gas online, and he needs to just stop attacking, please. Morphs on the ramp and then cancels. Gets in here, probably just more for the scout than anything else. We'll get a drone, another drone. It's still got some goons coming in here, so just unrelenting. If he had the time to micro this, he would get a beautiful storm drop on those drones, which he does do. Kills about 10 drones. And Hydras are going to tidy this up. And what has been a chaotic game, to say the least. Tidies up the last of the zealots. Okay, so can we please get this gas mining? He's made the simulator, but he's not mining gas. There we go. Okay, so he sends them to mine. He's got 51 probes. He's got a mining base here. This is mined out. This is mined out. So potentially needs to power up a bit. I think he could afford to add 2 more gates and try and take another base, even if it's a mineral only. And then he can engage again. Larva did lose a few drones. He's going to have to drone up again, but he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mining bases still. This is very powerful. You can see he also needs to do a bit of a drone transfer here, because from all these fights in this area being pressured, a lot of these drones are picked off by storm drops, etc. So if you're a Protoss fan, you don't actually want to see your Protoss attacking again. You want to see him expanding to a 5th base, adding 2 or 3 more gateways, and then trying to knock down 1 or 2 of Larva's primary sources of income. So turning around here, that was a nice... Actually, that was not a nice storm. It was just a storm. The zealots just kind of randomly running around here in the map. The main fight still remains here. So many fights have been in this area. Just sticking with this. 7 gates is all he needs, apparently. Oh, this army's kind of been split up here. This is not a good engagement for the Protoss. They're kind of all in a line. Some units here not participating. He's going to run out. He's putting himself into a really awkward spot there. That was not a good trade at all. Getting up these ramps and keeping his units together is proving a little bit challenging. And Larva's just got so much experience, such good control. Taking these fights in a nice wide arc. He could have potentially even flanked here again. So the Protoss army has to back away. Not a bad storm there. But the storm dodging from Larva has been really good. He's still just sticking with Hydras, not making any other units. Making a couple more drones. I think he realizes saturation on a couple of his bases is a bit low. Picking off High Templars there. Very nice from Larva, who's just played a very, very patient game. And this is what I really like about him, is he's so good at absorbing pressure. And then before you blink, he transfers the pressure right back onto you. So these annoying little zealots are still running around doing their thing. I think they'll be tidied up. And yeah, I mean, he just doesn't have the numbers here. These zealots just chilling. Yeah, this one definitely reminds me way more of Circuit Breakers. Which was one of my favorite maps actually when I used to play the game. There's still a squad of 5 zealots. It's just had so much fun. Now joining up with the main army. Looks like they want to try and pressure this base. Larva's going to flank this though. So, okay. So I think Sky has decided to pull away with his main army at the risk of getting flanked. The High Templars both died. All 3 of them died, and I think we got a grand total of 2 storms there. Just making Zealots goons. High Templars not looking to expand again at this stage, just running off with the 2 mining bases. This is starting to get low. I think our Protoss is on the clock here. He needs to expand again, and he definitely needs to take down one of Larva's bases. I'm hearing a DT's gotten into the main here. He's going to get a lot of drones. He's on 45 now, and the number is dropping rapidly. But unfortunately now he's committed here, so he's going to lose all of these units. Yeah, he did get maybe 12 drones, sure. He may get a hatch or 2 as well. But it was in essence in exchange for his entire army. Larva is down to 73 supply though. And these Dragoons are 3-2. They're pretty strong. So Lings are going to tidy up what's remaining here. Overlord comes in to kill that DT. That DT had a real big impact on the game. Meanwhile, we're pressuring another area, and I think our Protoss is going to do this. Just on the 2 mining bases, he just seems to have managed to break through here. Just with really, really good consistent attacks. So I've never seen Sky play before. I've just did a little bit of research on him on a seawall, saw where he was ranked on the ladder, saw the kinds of players he was matching against, and thought, let's see how he goes against Larva. Looks like he's going pretty well, to say the least. So does Larva have a way back from here? I don't feel like he does, especially with Protoss taking another base behind this. Knocking down a hatchery, knocking down this. Yeah, I think he's just lost too much. Still got 5, 6 hatcheries. His problem is he doesn't have any income. Alrighty, I think I have a few more games of Sky in my replay pack. I'm really looking forward to watch him play. Another player who I didn't know anything about, Airfu, another Protoss. He played a game against Soma, which I cast on the channel recently, and it's probably already come out at the time that you're watching this. And he beat Soma quite convincingly, and that was really, really cool to see. So some of these unknown players putting an absolute hiding on brilliant players like Larva. It's so much fun. I'm really hoping that I can showcase this more and more, just that there are guys that are playing, they're amateurs, right, and they're playing on the ladder against some of the best players in the world, and they are taking games off of them like this one, and it's really, really fun to see. I must be honest with you, I don't look for the results when I look for the games, so I don't know who won or lost before the game started, but this was very, very enjoyable. I felt like the constant fixation with this area and this game was a mistake from my Protoss, but he just kept running Larva around, expanded when he needed to, and he just took that one critical engage with that really good storm drop that crippled Larva's economy, and then he was just unrelenting and he took him down. So, and that was a really, really cool game. So I just want to say thank you if you stuck with me this far. I really, really appreciate it. I'll be back again very soon, and until next time, you take it easy.